Hey, everybody! It's time for another wonderful edition of the Jersey Tales!
Woo-wee!
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, well, who's all on tonight's show? Well, Bud made it back.
Howdy, howdy.
Jingles is here.
Still winning.
Wolf is here.
What up, though?
Oh, we got producer Lexi in the booth.
I love Adam Peters.
You're the one's gonna have to edit it. It's me, Red the Ram. Welcome everybody to the Jersey Tales. All righty, well, of course, here it is. I think we just brought back Boyd, or at least we're in the talks of bringing him back potentially and having him sit. Was there any other big major news that came out?
No, for real though. The Lions have recently signed a guard after Jonah Jackson went to the Rams. So we needed that spot to fill up, so we got a guy from Baltimore.
Good. Anything that weakens Baltimore, I'm all for. So
Turns out this guy is a brick wall, according to defensive end Lee McNeil.
I know we were still looking at two other offensive guys, and I think we only got the one, which guy for right tackle, the former Patriots player, I think. So he's one of those guys where if he wants to be good, he can be really good, but if he's unmotivated, he's just going to get steamrolled. So, I'm hoping that things are going to go well. Plus, he has a tendency to get double teamed a lot, and I think he only 89% of the time that he's double teamed, he is successful in holding that back. So if he gets, a little help from a running back or a tight end, that looks promising for us. Other than that, I don't think there's been too much more.
I'm a little bummed out that Jonah Jackson we weren't gonna pay Jonah Jackson that money because you know how all offensive line, like all the linemen are like high paying now this year. So, and knowing Brad Holmes with cap situation and stuff like that. So, but I'm happy. Go ahead.
I was just looking for any movement from last week that since like Monday, and I can't think of anything else because it just seems like it's just small stuff, right?
Yeah.
Now that guard transfer, that's pretty good. But
honestly, it's a small upgrade compared to Jonah Jackson because I know he has been injury prone since a few times. So I'm gonna say as a Lions fan, I'm happy for him. I'm happy he's got his bag and hope he does well in LA.
Jingles, can you think of any signings since we last did the show? Well,
Odell Beckham Jr. was with Miami over the weekend, and today they offer him a contract, but he has not signed it.
What would the contract be?
Probably like a 1 year, $10 million.
Of course, because he's that.
that's pretty cheap for a wide receiver. Yeah, he's up there, but $10 million. I mean, for a wide receiver, granted, we're sitting here paying what, 21 or 24 million?
21.5 for the cap hit. I mean, for the franchise tag.
Yeah, and because what they're talking about doing with T, because again, they've already started the rumors that, and by they, I don't mean the Bengals organization. I mean T's agent, and it's the T's agent and it's other owners and GMs from other teams that are speculating that the Bengals are open to trade T. And the thing is the only way that we're trading T is for a first round pick or a comparable wide receiver. And unless it's JJ, it's not happening. No one's going to give us a first round pick, especially with this draft year. So it's just a pipe dream. The thing is that the contract that he wants is basically the equivalent of us franchise tagging him this year and then tagging him next year, which that's probably what we'll just end up doing because one, if we tag him this year, he has to perform at the top of his game because if he wants to trade or if he wants to be cut and go somewhere else for a bag, you got to look good. So we're going to get at least some performance out of him. But yeah, they've already started rumoring the rumor mills are going. And if you go to you read into it, it's scuttlebutt between GMs and stuff. Oh, they might be open to it. It's like, yeah, who's going to give us a first round pick for T? when you've got this receiving class, this wide receiving class. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, for those of you that didn't listen to last week's episode, Dak has run into some issues.
Goody.
It has come to light that a woman has been trying to extort $100 million from Dak Prescott over allegations that he may have done some inappropriate things to this young lady. And because he eventually went to the cops and said, hey, this person is trying to blackmail me, they're going this route, all of the information has come out into the news. Now, the Dallas police, I think it was Dallas, they have done Dak a little bit of a favor when they listed the location of where this event went down, because they put like the 8500 block of something. And if you go into Street View and you go to that exact address, it's an office complex right there, big, office for lease, oh, well, something weird must have happened in an office complex. That's bizarre. Well, the way that they word it is at the block of. So if you go down a couple more clicks and then you look up, there's the Gentleman's Club. It's right there. So Dak got in trouble with the stripper.
Oh, it makes me think of T-Pain's song. It's like, I'm in love with a stripper.
Yeah. So there's, and of course she wants $100 million, and I'm not saying that he did or didn't do anything. And, the blackmailing thing is a bit, but also it's Jerry Jones, who's also in trouble for kind of the same kind of deal, except for I guess he did it all above board with, I'm going to pay you X million dollars a year to stay quiet about my illegitimate child that we had after the Cowboys last won a Super Bowl. Well, there's been an update because that all came out right on the heels of the Cowboys getting a quick, signing bonus thing done to free up some cap space so they could get some more weapons.
$5 million.
Yeah. So this week it's come out that the Cowboys are willing to let Dak test the market now. So my joke last week
Oh, I want to hear this joke.
about calling Dak the future fully guaranteed quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, Dak Prescott, might end up coming true now.
Hey, it'd be a better. Hey, let's be honest here. If Dak was to go to the Cleveland Browns, his jersey would be much better than Deshaun Watson's.
Yeah, so there's been some more Dak news, and like I clicked on it this morning just to get an update on it. It's like, wow, okay, so now the Cowboys are sitting there going, maybe we're gonna let Dak test the market.
Oh.
Which, there's been a lot of controversy about whether or not Dak's actually gotten better this year or if the competition he's playing against has gotten worse. Yeah, I mean, at this point, we need to probably get Dak checked for, diabetes because he's been feasting on cupcakes,
Cupcakes, Twinkies, probably zingers.
For the entire first half, yeah.
Who doesn't love Twinkies?
It is what it is. I don't know what he'll bring, but I think he was shooting for 60 million was what they were originally talking because, Jerry's going to Jerry. Now, I don't think Dak is worth 60 million.
No.
His cap hit's 55. The only way to bring that down, you got to give him a contract extension, but they got no money right now.
Yeah, aren't the Cowboys in cap hell right now?
Cowboys still got $5 million left in cap space.
For this year. What do they got next year and the year after?
For next year is $83 million. In
Hang on.
2026, they're going to have like over 280 in 2026.
Okay, so they're
In
getting
cap
ready to just
space?
Yeah.
they're getting ready to have a bunch of contracts that are going to expire at the end of this year and next year, and so they're going to have to be doing some signing and re-signing. So
Right.
they'll have the flexibility and the luxury then to look at that big massive contract, but I have a feeling that they're going to try and bring down his asking price as part of this whole situation. Overspend on their quarterback. I don't remember how much Romo was getting in the whole grand scheme of things, but I remember it being something ridiculous. And then there was like no money left over for weapons.
38 million for franchise tag and 34 million for transition tag.
He'd actually take a pay cut if they tag him. So okay.
Yeah, he's gonna have to if he's gonna get a tag, get that tag, you know.
Well, he's not going to get tagged anyway because he's got the clause.
No.
But I was just curious what it was going for. So
Right.
38 million. So yeah, so there was your update on Dak, and it's everybody's favorite, Saturday night drama TV series, Dallas, right?
Them darn Cowboys.
How about
Always
them
committing
Cowboys?
crimes.
Oh, I mean, let's be real here. The Cowboys are still gonna be the same old Cowboys every year.
Facts, honestly.
All
How
right.
about them Cowboys?
We
Now-
them boys.
To say the same neck of woods, Detroit's having some issues with one of their now former players.
Yep.
So Detroit's Cam is on the lam.
A Florida Sheriff's Department posted out a warrant. Cameron Sutton. He's being charged with strangulation and assault and battery.
Oh.
The voice of the Lions, of the radio voice of the Detroit Lions, Dan Miller from Fox 2, saying, and that I just posted earlier today, that Lions president Rod Wood talked today about the decision to release Cam Sutton, said it was the right move considering the charges and the fact that he didn't cooperate with the authorities. So basically, he's been on the run since this whole situation has occurred. And continue what Dan Miller has posted. He was actually in the building in Allen Park when the team learned about the warrant. So Woods said to that representatives of the team did speak with him and urged him to turn himself in. So technically he was in Allen Park on the run. So, and basically Dan Miller clarified more, saying, to be clear, the Lions president Rod Wood indicated that Cam Sutton was in Allen Park when the team learned about the warrant. He was working with the strength staff when they approached him and urged him to seek counsel and turn himself in. He left and ending conversation with the team. So that was like prior to his release of the team.
I mean, imagine how terrified you got to be to go up and talk to the dude that's sitting there probably benching 300 pounds at the strength and
Right,
conditioning center and go like, hey, so there's this piece of paper.
Right.
It's got your name on it.
And I'm gonna be real, as a Lions fan, I'm honestly very proud of the organization doing the right thing and releasing him and terminating his contract. If he does get charged and stuff like that, then apparently there's some kind of like NFL protocol that with the money, the contract being terminated, meaning that I think the Lions will probably get the money back. It is probably not to affect their cap space, apparently. I forgot what it was.
Oh, it's probably
I think
like
Jingles
a moral.
I think Jingles could help me look this up.
Yeah, it's probably like a moral clause or something like that.
Like
So
a
in
moral, like, because
yeah,
I know it's like a code of conduct thing for the NFL.
yeah,
If you get charged with any felony or anything,
yeah,
or get
and
arrested, but
they
yeah.
can get, it's a way to get out. A lot of the coaching contracts and stuff have
as
those.
of right now, prior to that release, because this was, and not only that, Cam Sutton was about to get an extra $10 million in signing bonus.
So he signed that contract last year, and this year he was supposed to be a base salary of $10.5 million this year with a 2.1 signing bonus. As he got a designated post June 1st release by Detroit, so he'd be officially released after June the 1st.
So if it's before June 1st when he gets charged, but after post June 1st would put the Lions at $19 million in dead cap.
You still gotta have good discipline on and off the field. Like, you cannot, like in football, you can, like in any sport, you cannot have that sour attitude off the field.
Oh, trust me. After hearing that, I kind of knew he was not part of the Detroit culture anymore.
No.
So
His post June 1st release dead cap would be 2.18 for this year with a 6.54 for next year, but y'all will save the 10.5 million base salary in cap.
Okay, but I think if he did violate some kind of code of conduct, if he gets arrested, then I'm pretty sure all of that's going to be coming back and with no issue, right?
Well, the arrest won't necessarily do it. It may be even. It may be contingent on either an internal investigation or a conviction. Like it may require a conviction.
Yeah.
'Cause I
I'm
know
trying to figure out
that Mixon had issues too, and otherwise they would have used that as just a reason not to pay him after the,
But yeah,
at the
hearing
end of
about
regular season.
But yeah, hearing about this news got me really upset, and I'm pretty sure I told you, Jingles, a bunch of other people that I've talked to about this. And my best friend, like, I told him, I'm like, yeah, he's done. As soon as I found out that he was wanted in Hillsborough, Florida, I'm like, I kind of liked him as a player, but during the playoffs, he's been very bad. Like he's been lit up by a bunch like high caliber wide receivers. And I'm like, yeah. And then hearing this crap going on, I'm like, yep, you're done. Bye.
That Seawolf may have some opinions on, but I'm going to let other folks get to theirs first. So Jim Harbaugh is back as an NFL head coach, and he has wasted no time wasted no time and started being weird.
I have never knew anything about this. I haven't been paying attention. I was so focused on the Cam Sutton situation.
Well, there has been a massive amount of quotes that have come out recently this weekend about him just talking nonstop about JJ, which, I get it. Like he's your former quarterback and you're talking him up and stuff. But basically going like, hell, there's no way that he's not like a second. He's not going second in the draft. And it's like, oh gosh, is this where this all is coming from? Has this been just Harbaugh just constantly talking to everybody in sports media?
I mean, he just wants JJ to be on his team.
Oh my gosh, this reminds me of Ed Ogeron with Joe Burrow. I'm gonna go get some gumbos.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Yeah, so he was talking him up. So, like, of course, like everyone's speculating that that's who Harbaugh's going to go with. So then people started being like, well, but don't you already have a superstar quarterback over there at the Chargers?
Yeah, I've been texting him every day to see how his day has been going.
I just randomly just talked to him. Just, hey, what you doing? You thinking about football? No. How about khakis?
If the Chargers do pull off and getting JJ McCarthy at 5, then
like he was originally projected like
in the second round.
Yeah.
But people are hyping him up to be in the first round. And honestly,
no. Here's the thing. You've got the 5th overall pick in this year's draft class, okay? Don't waste it on JJ because he'll still be around in the second round. Use that first pick to replace that superstar wide receiver you just lost.
Which one?
Yeah, like Keenan Allen, right?
Yeah, Keenan. I think it was Keenan Allen because he went to the
Allen
Bears.
got traded.
Yep, he went to the Bears.
Mike Williams went to the Jets.
So are they going to make sure that Rodgers isn't out there, carrying a flag for the first game? Like,
Dude, the memes out of that was pretty good.
They should just wheel him out onto the field like Hannibal Lecter. First off, that would solve 2 problems with Rodgers.
Him wearing the mask.
Yeah, or make sure the mask is on. No, you just wheel him out there like on a dolly. That's how it should be. Don't let him lose like
a dolly while in a straitjacket.
Yeah, exactly, like Hannibal Lecter with a mask. So that way he can't say anything.
Can't see anything, he could see everything, but can't
because
speak.
Because his mouth has been getting him in all sorts of trouble. So that's what I'm saying. That it solves some problems.
Oh yeah, all the attention seeking on Pat McAfee.
Oh, all right. And then we had the coaches meeting this week. So there's been some.
It started today.
Yeah, and then they had owners meeting right over the weekend.
It's all of it. It's this week. All of it.
Yeah. So apparently there's been some new rule changes that they have. It sounds like it's official.
It is. They already approved it unanimously.
Even though the players association was literally against it.
Well, the first part is the hip tackle rule.
But not
Now-
only just the hip drop, the swivel hip drop.
Right. Because a lot of people were just saying, well, like you can't do the like that's a clean tackle. And it's like, well, that's still legal. It's now the swivel. Which let me just tell you how excited I am that there's a defensive penalty it's gonna be 15 yards and a first down that requires the ref to be dialed in the exact position of the body and what they do after the fact, and it's just gonna be a mess. They're gonna get
it's
this
not gonna last
wrong.
very long. It ain't going. I know next season's gonna be a disaster. Ever since banning that, the swivel hip drop.
Go ahead, Bunt.
I was definitely thinking about that. Like, oh god, they're gonna get it confused. What's a swivel? Not a swivel and all that stuff. It's just like they're gonna get it confused. They're gonna call some random calls, and it's gonna cause a bunch of chaos. It's gonna happen.
Well, they are, like, in addition to that, they are having some rules about how challenges and reviews and things are going. But like, if you're gonna do this particular thing, you gotta have a sky judge. The ref could sit there and be like, that might have been a penalty. You throw it out there, you let the sky judge take a look at it while you guys are all conferring together, and let him just be like, no, that was clean. Like his body was fine. And, no, there is no penalty on the play. Result of the play is blah blah blah.
I'm gonna be honest here. You might as well bring out the belts and the flags out.
No, that's a cold take.
To me, I don't like the rule.
I hate it.
I don't like the rule.
I'm
I
for
don't-
the rule.
To me, I don't like it.
How
That's
much?
just me because like I don't know. I'm all for like serious hits in football, but like now stuff like the targeting call, yeah, I can agree with that. But
Well,
I can see like if they do go through with this rule, like they would have to kind of treat it like the targeting rule, like where they usually just review it after if they make the call.
because they said that there was something along the lines of basically 1%. It was less than 1% of all tackles in the game would classify as this hip tackle with the swivel that we saw last year. It was something like 0.83% or something. Because they came out and they said, well, there's at least one hip tackle a game. It was like something like 218 of them, and then out of that, a certain percentage were the ones that were of concern. And now, granted, they didn't say which team was the ones that were causing the problems. But I do know that in the video there was quite a lot of Ravens on that one. So, which is it had been a sticking point for us on our end because they kept complaining about our defensive tackling, and it's like, what, when they were looking to make a video about the exact thing they're trying to prevent, whose team was up on the screen? Oh, it was you, dirty birds.
The Eagles submitted their 4th and 20 rule change for the 3rd straight year and got denied.
Do you want to explain it?
Because
you want to
no.
You want to explain it, Jingles?
It's the XFL rule. If you want to go, you can do an onside kick, or you have a 4th and 15 at your own 35-yard line, and you have to convert it to get the first down. You would keep the ball. If not, turnover on downs. The other teams get the ball where you stopped. So basically, that's what the Eagles proposed, and it got denied for the 3rd straight year.
There's nothing wrong with the tush push.
No, it's not. That's a legit play.
Yep.
Yeah, the Eagles are the only ones that do it.
Hey, where's the camera? Hey, if anyone can do it, and y'all can stop it.
Yeah, the tush push, that's just football. That's just football.
Hip drop is just a bunch of Karens just be like, oh no.
Well, I understand the specific motion that is of a concern. Okay, I totally get that. Trust me, I have a very delicate quarterback at this point. I do not want him squished. And I can understand that particular one. I'm just going to be I'm going to be watching it very closely during the pregame or the preseason games to see how they're calling it there, and watch how the first couple of games how they're calling it. And I'm just going to hope that they don't screw it up. Now, I really want them to incorporate some of the extra stuff that's coming down. But like the next up is the challenge rule. So now you don't have to get both challenges correct to get the free extra challenge. Now you just have to get one of them correct.
And this was proposed by Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions on that rule, and it got approved.
I mean, it makes sense, right? Like to me, it should be, yeah, if you make a challenge and you're right. In fact, I don't even think there should be a limit. Like if every time you challenge and you are correct, guess what? Here you go. Good job.
You get your challenge back, or you get another one.
Yeah.
As DJ Khaled goes, another one.
It just doesn't make sense to remove like if you're right, if I'm like, look, you screwed up, oh, and now my team's getting penalized because of it, fix it.
Absolutely.
I should be able to challenge again. I should be penalized for wasting everyone's time. If I'm, oh yes, it was totally this.
Delay a game.
We looked at it. No. give us your laundry back. No, you can't have it. This is ours now. You can have it back at the end of the game.
No, I honestly do agree with get one challenge right, you get another one in the second half, so you get like a total of 3.
Yeah. You start with two per half, and if you're right,
you get 3.
You get a third.
I mean, I was surprised when I heard it today that they're instead of getting 2 right, you only have to get 1 right. So I'm like, okay, so I agree with this. That hey, like, hey, let's continue until you like get 1 wrong. But I understand why they want to do it. They want to get more into the game. Like, oh, you challenged this wrong in the second quarter with 5 minutes to go, and you mess up another challenge. I mean, you got the challenge right. You have 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. So you get a second one, but you can't use that. You got to time it right for your challenges.
Oh, it's 2 total. Okay. So yeah, for some reason I thought, I guess it's 1 per half, and then you get
1 per half. You get 1 right, you get another one.
Okay.
So if you get
2 total through the game.
Yeah.
So if you get 1 right for the first half, right, and you get a second one, that means you still have 2 available for the second half.
Yes, and you got to use it before the 2-minute warning.
Yes.
Oh, and then the one that surprised me, because again, the owners, the ref union, everybody have been against any other critique, extra set of eyes, I suppose, on some of the more egregious calls that can be made. They've added in a new replay assistant that they're expanding it. Yeah, so they're expanding it, and they'll be allowed to correct certain types of incorrect calls, like for roughing the passer and for intentional grounding. I would like that expanded, especially when, hey, we're adding a new rule, like, I don't know, a hip tackle with a twist. Yeah, guess who would be great just to that first year that you're implementing it, just to make sure that we're getting all the mechanics down on that. You know who'd be great? This replay assistant. I don't know about you, but that would save a lot of bacon and a lot of headache.
Yeah, I can definitely see how I could like it, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with it too.
I mean, for me, it's you want the call in the field to be correct.
Like, exactly. I can definitely vouch for that one.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, I've been watching March Madness all weekend. You know, there's been all sorts of calls that as soon as if it's outside of that 2 minutes, they can't go back and look at it, and it's frustrating when it's like, that was all ball, and then this team got penalized for it.
Oh yeah, but I definitely get why. I definitely do. Trust me.
Yeah,
Trust me. I've seen so many moments just where, please review that.
I mean, I haven't heard about this replay assistant rule until now. So,
I mean, that was That was literally the blurb that came across my feed, word for word. So that's exactly what they've put up there. So they haven't flushed out any of the details other than it will definitely cover roughing the passer and intentional grounding. All right,
Oh,
Jingles, how do you
boy.
want to do this? Do you just want to go around the room and give the over and under and then listen to us try and justify it?
All right, so I'll give you all the top 3 highest, the bottom 3 the lowest, and I give y'all teams individually. So the top 3 are, of course, the big 3: the Niners, the Niners, the Ravens, and the Chiefs. Over unders at 11.5 wins. While the bottom 3 is the Panthers, the Patriots at 4.5, the Titans was at 4.5, but they bumped it up to 5.5. So those are your bottom 3 for over-unders. There's a log jam. There's 7 teams that's at over-under 10.5. That includes all of us. All of us are at 10.5 wins. The Falcons, the Lions, the Bengals, alongside with the Eagles, and the Packers.
So I think the Chiefs
And the
would be under.
Cowboys.
Well,
Cowboys
is
and the
all right,
Bills. And
real quick, is the over under regular season?
yes.
Okay, so no playoffs.
I mean, with all the off-season moves they got with Cavalry and now made the trade for Snead, that could help them in the secondary.
Yeah, I mean, it's a new coach. They're gonna, and that OC without Zach Taylor's meddling. I think that you're looking at least 6 wins with the Titans. Patriots, I couldn't tell you one way or the other.
Patriots are going to blow it
gonna-
up like they did last year.
Yeah,
4.5.
I'll pick one from the top and one from the bottom, and then I'll do the Bengals. How's that? So mine from the bottom is Titans. I think they're getting 6. Chiefs. Oh, they're getting under 11. And Bengals. Yeah, we're getting 11. I don't think we're getting 12, but we're getting 11. Do you think all right, here, I'll help you out. Do you think that the Panthers will win more or less than 5 games? Yeah, 4 games.
I think they'll win more. I'm gonna go bold and say they'll win more.
All right,
So
top
you're saying
half.
5 games.
Yes.
Or what's our top group, Jingles?
The Niners, the Chiefs, and the Ravens at 11.5.
So do you think the Niners will win more or less than 11.5? Bunt.
I think they'll win more.
Hey, so you're being generous.
I'm going bold.
All right, and then Bunt's team.
The Falcons. This one's. I say more. Why not? We'll go more again.
Just dishing it out. All right. Seawolf. Pick one from the top, pick one from the bottom, and then your middle.
Okay, since I'm going to do the Titans first, they're going to do the over. Like, I'm going to say 7 games at least. Or that's just being a little too generous, I guess. But for the Chiefs, I'm going to go less. And for my Detroit Lions, I'm going to be doing 12 and win the division again.
All right, for the top, I say that it's going to be the Niners going under 11.5.
I like that.
And for the bottom, it's going to be the Panthers under 4.5. All right. Because Bryce Young is going to be have a sophomore slump. He is not going to be like Baker Mayfield under the same offensive coordinator that he was in Tampa. Now, for our Falcons, it's at 10.5. Do we trust Kirk Cousins this much? It bumped us up 3 wins from last year, from 6.5 to 7.5 to 10.5. Do we trust Kirk Cousins? Well, the odds are saying yes. You have to trust Kirk Cousins, so we're going over 10.5 wins.
All right. Just out of curiosity, what was the Commanders at?
That's at the Commanders. It is at 7.5.
That's a lot to ask out of a rebuild.
Oh, with that much money.
The Chicago Bears with Caleb Williams over or under 8.5 wins.
Under.
Because I'm just thinking how we went into that. Like, I think they'll stink the first year. He'll kind of get his groove in. They'll get some more weapons for him, or protection, hopefully, out of the next draft, and then they'll start really cooking.
And you know what the Packers are at right now? 10.5? Over under 10.5?
Yep.
I'm going to go under on that one, too.
Vikings 6.5.
Ooh.
With
Ooh,
Sam Darnold as your quarterback.
And they got Aaron Jones.
And they're thinking about trading those 2 ones that they got up to either to the Patriots, Cardinals, or with the Chargers.
Or who would that be?
Maybe Washington, Minnesota.
No, like which players? Like they're 2 pieces.
They got 11 and 22.
Okay, so I'm gonna go. So there's under 6.5, right?
Over under 6.5.
I'm going under.
And this one, the odds just changed for the Steelers. They opened up at 7.5. Now it's up to 8.5 for the Steelers.
So honestly, I'm gonna give props to the Steelers because they got a hell of a QB room upgrade from Pickett, Trubinsky, and Rudolph.
And
that's an upgrade.
Tomlin said that Wilson has pole position to be the starter, but he's not. But he'd be open for a competition when OTA starts.
I'm gonna say over. I'm gonna go over on that one. Probably 9 games.
I would have jumped on it when it was 7.5 because Tomlin's not getting less than 80 wins anyway.
Since we're still in the AFC North, what about the Browns at 8.5?
I know they lost Flacco. I don't know who
they got Winston. You got Winston.
I don't know who the hell he is.
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston?
Yeah, he's the backup now for Deshaun Crosby.
Deshaun Crosby?
Cosby.
Oh man. So where are they projected at right now?
8.5.
Ooh.
They'll
I'm going
probably get
under.
9.
I'm going under.
I got a feeling the Ravens. I have a feeling that Lamar's going to get hurt.
Lamar's probably going to get hurt again.
Yeah.
They're just due for it.
I mean, who's going to replace? To be honest with you, who's going to replace OBJ for the Ravens? Because you got Zay Flowers, you got Mark Andrews, you got Derrick Henry now coming in to replace Gus Edwards.
Oh yeah, because they have Derrick Henry
and Isaiah likely. So it all depends if they're going to fill up a gap that OBJ left as a third wide receiver. Who are they going to fill in that gap in the draft? Most likely they are.
They're just going to see if there's just happens to be somebody just left over on the market.
Yeah,
more than likely.
Either finish up free agency or just draft somebody and just.
Last topic. It happens to be March Madness.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And they have all had to suffer me being excited about my bracket, because I won't be excited about my bracket next week.
I didn't even do a bracket this year. I was a little upset that I missed out this year.
Yeah, I didn't do one either. Haven't been keeping up with it, but I have been hearing some good things about it and
a lot of upsets.
Whack things about it, especially Kentucky.
I don't know why that's a bad thing.
I saw that game, and I'm like, they lost to Oakland in the first round, and Oakland University is a Horizon League school out of Rochester Hills, Michigan.
That's crazy, because I know Georgia beat Oakland earlier this year.
and people are assuming that Oakland University was in the California's Bay Area.
Yeah, well, I guess the worst part about it is Cal came out and was talking about how are we supposed to deal with this? Because, like, we weren't anticipating them to come out and score. It's like, you mean you weren't anticipating that you'd have to play defense? Is that what you're saying? Because that's what it sounds like you're saying.
Oh, man, that was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, well, the big thing is, like, my bracket is still mostly intact. Like, I'm missing 2 teams out of the Sweet 16. Well, according to the percentile, I'm in like 97 percentile right now. I was in like the 99.5% percentile, 99.7 at one point. Like at one point, I was like, "Oh, this is good." And the ones that I miffed on, the ones that hurt was Baylor imploding, which that really hurts. That's why I know that my bracket's not going to be great towards the end of it, because I had them going all the way to the championship, not winning it, but I had them going all the way there. Yeah, I knew Alabama was going to get at least to the Sweet 16. I have them actually beating UNC because I really like the way they're playing.
Oh, the USC?
Alabama over UNC.
Oh, over North Carolina? Oh, yeah. Alabama over North Carolina for sure.
That'll be exciting. Now, Oregon freaking imploded.
And who were they facing?
Creighton. Like, they had a chance. They had a chance. They had 2 chances. They had 3 chances because it went into double overtime. But they, like, Lexi was watching the game with me online, and you could just tell they were just gassed. And if they had a chance at the end of the first overtime, and they just missed a layup, and that would have been game. And then I would have been on 7th heaven because I had them over Tennessee in the Sweet 16, and that would have solidified my bracket as way up there. So the only SEC team that I really had, I guess there's 2. I had faith in Tennessee getting at least to the Sweet 16. I don't have them leaving the Sweet 16, but I had them getting to the Sweet 16. I have Alabama going relatively deep just because it's a young team, and it's one of those things where as the season progresses, they're just going to keep getting better. It kind of reminds me of some of Calipari's first couple of UK teams where they all start kind of jamming towards the end.
Yeah.
Granted, they're not playing defense, but they're shooting lights out.
Oh yeah, that's just high flying offense. Just like that Colorado Florida game. It was all offense. It was nothing but offense.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. Is the rest of the SEC teams, I basically had either doing what they did or they all stunk one game early for me.
Can we talk about that Yale game?
No, because I had Auburn winning it all.
Oh, there's no way.
And it was funny. I found out that the band that was there wasn't Yale's band. It was Idaho's band. Put in with Yale shirts on top of it.
Huh.
Yeah,
yep.
They learned it for like a week before the tournament.
Does Yale not have a band?
Yes, but
they do. But they weren't going to ship them over to Spokane, Washington. Lexi's saying that they were all appointed to go to the spring break.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. But
they didn't think they would make it.
Oh my gosh, that is the most ridiculous. That's the most
Yale crazy
thing.
Think of Mississippi State's canceling classes because they're facing Michigan State.
Well, I mean, that's the most Yale thing, because that was when we were in the band. Like, you just knew that, like, hey, this is potentially, so don't make any big plans that you may end up in the tournament. Okay, great. And then you just go for spring break, and it's a blast because, again, the tournament flies you out there. You get spending money every day you're there. They have a whole thing that, like, buses and stuff that take you all around the area of wherever you're at. It's tons of fun being in the band. Plus, you get to do like pep rallies and things all the time. It's just a blast. I mean, it's like 99.7% in the percentage of brackets. So basically just dominating everything. And then the SEC implosion happened.
Oh man, that was funny.
Because it was like funny. Florida, Auburn, Kentucky. They all screwed me over.
They were what, 1-5? Yeah,
and then Texas A&M shows up, and I'm just, like, I already was like, wow, they're not going to make it because it's Texas A&M. They're just going to do what they always do. No, Buzz Williams goes in there and gets them to the second round over Nebraska, and I was like, because I had Marquette going over Florida. Now, again, I didn't put a lot of faith in them, so I didn't have any of these SEC teams getting out of the round of 32, but I had them at least getting there. So there's like 50 points on the table that I left because of, that. And then, of course, BYU screwed me over, but whatever. But yeah, right now, I'm at like 97.5 percentile. And my goal this week was to beat Stephen A. Smith and I am throttling him royally.
And I remember Jingles was losing it when his bracket got busted.
Yeah, because I could have won a free trip to San Antonio next year off of work. Yeah, that was the grand prize that work could put in the pool. A trip for two to next year's Final Four in San Antonio.
Yeah, I mean, usually the Final Four is always in a football stadium, and it's still converted
Yeah.
down, and they put stuff on the floor. It always is. It's one reason why the shooting is always so terrible in the Final Four.
Yeah,
Is-
and I know the court is a little elevated too. 'Cause
Yeah.
Not always. It's not always elevated, but because it's no longer a bowl stadium, because usually it's just not because of the way that the seating is done for a
Yeah.
football stadium. It really messes up your depth perception in there, and so that's usually why during the Final Four the shooting goes down, unless you get a chance to really practice on it, and they usually don't get that much time on it.
I just want Purdue out.
Well, guess what? Purdue is in Detroit.
Oh man.
Yeah, I need you to go down
So is
there.
Tennessee.
Yeah, I need you to go down there and cheer on Gonzaga over Purdue for me.
I
Because
was so rep for Gonzaga.
yeah, because I've got Purdue doing their famous flame out way too early in the Sweet 16. So
They do that like every year, don't they?
yeah, I mean sometimes it's as a number 1 seed, but in the first round. But I was like, they may have learned it and got. Oh, that was such a hard one. Me going, will they make it to the second round? Okay.
Ooh.
Will they make it to the third round? I don't. Yeah,
So-
probably. And then it was, will they get past Gonzaga? Because I knew Kansas wasn't getting past Gonzaga because they've been a fraud.
Yeah, the
season.
entire Purdue is like fraudulent all season because of Zach Edey, and he was not really that good. But I hope Purdue implodes in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've got them imploding as because that's what I really need. It's Gonzaga's who I've got in my Final Four.
Gonzaga's
So,
pretty good this year.
yeah, because I've got Gonzaga. I called NC State's run. So, and I have them going one more round and get knocked out by Houston.
Get in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, I've got NC State getting on to the Elite Eight. So now I don't know how comfortable I feel in that because they're looking like Oregon because they were kind of in the same boat Oregon was in where they lit the world on fire during the tournament, their conference tournament,
Right.
and you start winning in those, you usually just keep going for a little bit until you just completely run out of steam because you've been playing full board and you didn't have that week off. And we saw that with Oregon because Oregon in that second overtime was just done.
Yeah, they look like they were very gassed and they had no one filling in because they're all gassed.
Yeah. Now UConn, I've got UConn getting past San Diego. But my little upset is I'm still following Iowa State. So I got to see Iowa State get over Illinois, which that one's going to be so many people have Illinois going past Iowa State. I don't know.
I don't think Illinois is going to get past Iowa State.
Yeah, I mean Iowa State's beaten Houston twice. So that's kind of where I'm looking at it from. So
Right.
I just have a feeling that they're not going to get past
who is so which teams are in the Sweet 16 right now?
In Sweet 16 right now is UConn versus San Diego, Illinois versus Iowa State, North Carolina versus Alabama, which I think that's going to be a fantastic game.
That's going to be a good game for sure.
It's either going to be fantastic or it's going to be a bloodbath.
It would be both. Why not both?
Clemson versus Arizona, which that's the one that killed me. Creighton versus Tennessee. Purdue versus Gonzaga, NC State versus Marquette, Houston versus Duke.
For the Sweet 16, who do we have in Detroit?
So you got Purdue, Gonzaga, and Creighton, Tennessee.
Oh, in Detroit?
Yep.
But yeah, my bracket is currently ranked 660,000. And Stephen A. Smith's bracket is currently. Let me scroll down here and find it. Scroll. Scroll. Ranked at almost 6 million.
So you have a better
wow.
bracket. So you have a better bracket than Stephen A.
Yeah,
I'll be damned.
there are only 2 celebrity folks, I'm putting those in air quotes, on ESPN's chart that have a better bracket than me. So that goes to show you we are a real sports show.
Wait, what'd you put your name on your bracket though? That's the question.
Equino Red the Ram.
Bruh.
Dude, Stephen A getting his ass kicked in the brackets by a furry. What can go wrong?
There's actually
Stephen A? Nah,
Yeah.
we need the Ram.
Yeah. Yes. I'll give you a hot take.
Oh, yes, sir.
Purdue needs a new mascot.
Yes. More on college basketball. The University of Michigan just recently hired Dusty May from Florida Atlantic University.
I think that's a good hire.
Yeah, it's a better upgrade than Juwan Howard. I mean, no disrespect on Howard, but the past 5 seasons have been dreadful.
Yeah,
with
you guys just
Howard.
yeah. Well, trust me, as a Louisville fan, I know. This was the conversation I had on the sidebar with Cy. Cylock's like, how are you so good at this? I said, well, first off, I'm from Kentucky, and college basketball is a religion here. So,
Yeah,
welcome
Cy
to Basketball
messaged me
Christmas.
about this.
Secondly, Louisville's been stuck with Kenny Payne for the last 2 years, and so I've been watching everybody but Louisville play because I'm coach shopping.
But yeah,
That's what happens when you go. That's what happens when you go 13-50.
Yeah, apparently Louisville's offered Scott Drew $8.5 million plus access to a $4.5 million or $4 to $4.5 million a year NIL fund and backing that was guaranteed. Now, I don't think that's a good hire for us. I don't think he's a good fit for the way that we play. And it's not really what the fans are after. Like we're looking for somebody that's more defensive minded, just plays tenacious basketball.
right.
I mean, that's what we're used to under Patino. And unless you're going to get somebody else back on that, you're just going to get nothing. Because we went and became defensive basketball experts. And so every time, if you went and got the guy from Alabama, yeah, we're going to win a bunch. But we are just going to sit there and criticize everything he does, even if he's putting up 114 points a game with a bunch of superstars that he brought in, simply because he's not playing the basketball that we want to see. We want to see us, keep everybody contained. Don't give us this, you win or lose by the shooting percentage, because we'll lose close games because of that, and it'll cost us tons of frustration. So. Oh no, we're done. Because my bracket's gonna suck next week now because I've talked about it.
I mean, we gotta continue who's winning the matchups and stuff like that. I will be celebrating if you'll probably see me celebrating on Twitter saying, "Oh my God, finally Purdue is gone."
And there is a college slam dunk and 3-point contest. I just don't know when that is.
But he was saying do it from people from the tournament.
Oh.
Like,
honestly,
do it at the Final Four. Do it at the Final Four.
Have guys come down to Phoenix just to have a 3-point contest during halftime.
It's at Grand Canyon University apparently on April 4th. So.
Oh, for the NCAA for the 3-point contest.
Slam dunk and 3-point contest for college. I mean, it's put on by State Farm, so I don't know. That might be fun.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Oh, no. Now this one says it's at the Target Center in Minneapolis. So they can't make up their mind of which location it's at?
Do it at the Target Center.
All right. I guess that concludes the show. Now that we've segued a little bit into basketball world.
Hopefully we'll definitely be talking for more on once the draft comes up. And giving our reactions about it.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I got to gloat over Stephen A. Smith. So.
Oh, he'll hear it. He'll probably come up to it and hear about it.
Oh, I'll make sure it's on the thumbnail.
It's like Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith gif of him being shocked while everybody's losing their shit.
Oh, hang on. Let me do the closing so that we can then talk. All right, thanks everyone for tuning in to the Jersey Tales. We'll see you on the next show. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you later. Hooday.